everyone, it's Lucy from KBeautyHobbit.com. It's time for another Fails and Faves video. This is a monthly video in which I go over the products from the previous month that either really impressed me or really didn't. Of course, this is all completely subjective, and I'm always happy to hear from you as far as what you thought of these, if you tried any of them. And I hope that if any of my fails end up on your shelf, that for you they're actually faves, because there's nothing worse than spending money on a product and then ending up not liking it. These are in no particular order. Let's just get started. The first one is a fave, and it's the COSRX Master Patch Intensive. I think a lot of us in the K-beauty scene have tried and loved the OG COSRX pimple patches, the ones in the red and white packaging. Those were the first ones that I've ever seen. I think they're the ones that really popularized the whole concept of a pimple patch for people. But now we have new and improved formulas. I really like this one because it's not just hydrocolloid. There's also the tea tree leaf and salicylic acid in it. They are fairly invisible. I mean, I would go out in public in those. Of course, this is a little bit individual. These are slightly thinner around the edges to really try to be invisible on the skin. That's not even why I love them though. I love them because they really take care of the painful red zits, even the ones that are still closed and don't have a head. I feel like it really helps with the pain and the swelling, and it also just mechanically keeps my little naughty fingers away from them, because I am definitely a recovering skin picker, and if I see something on my face, I have a really difficult time leaving it alone. But this kind of helps put a barrier on it, and also helps things heal faster and without scars for me, because picking a lot of the times leads to scarring. Next is Mary and May Believe in Truth Vegan Blackberry Complex Cream Essence. So many of you were interested in this one because it is a cheaper alternative to the Dr. Circle Kombucha Essence. It looks identical in the sense that the bottle is exactly the same size, it is the same lid style, it's just black instead of white. The label is very, very similar, just with color variations. It has these two layers, the creamy and the watery one, but it's cheaper. Is it just as good as Dr. Circle? Absolutely not. It is absolutely not as good as Dr. Circle. Dr. Circle is like a hug for the face. It is very rich but not greasy. It's not a heavy product, but it's very, very nourishing, and I love it. I'm actually on my second bottle of it right now, and I've talked about it ad nauseum before in my prior videos. I think it was in my favorites of 2022, like top products, and if it wasn't, it should have been. It's very good. This is underwhelming. It's more watery, it's not as nourishing. I actually think as a standalone product that is not trying to copy Dr. Circle, it probably would have been good. I think if Mary and May made this in a different packaging and maybe didn't try to really capitalize on the hype around Dr. Circle, they probably would have gotten a better review from me, because I wouldn't have been in my mind subconsciously and consciously constantly comparing it to Dr. Circle. It is just not as good. I think it's probably a fine product by itself. It's hydrating, it's interesting, the Too Faced thing is interesting, but it's just not as creamy, it's not as rich, it's just lacking a little bit. And honestly, Dr. Circle goes on sale often enough that you can get it for just a few bucks more than this, and it is worth way more to me than this. So unfortunately, it's a fail for me. Looks like an almost full bottle, but because of the white creamy layer, I'm actually about this much into it, so I've used it several times and I'm just underwhelmed. I rarely reach for it. It's not horrible by any means. It's not horrible, but it's just, it's not as good. And they shouldn't have done the copycat thing. They should have just stuck with being an original brand, and I think this product actually would have done better. I have a couple makeup faves. First is the Etude House Look at My Eyes Velvet Eyeshadows. I will put links for everything in the description box, and I have reviews for a lot of this stuff on my blog, KBeautyHobbit.com, because I put links on there also, and you can go and take a look at pictures and what it looks like on me, etc. if you want to have more information. For the sake of time, I keep the review portion of this video pretty quick because I'm covering a lot of products and I don't think anybody wants to sit here for hours, but I do have more detailed information on my blog. Anyway, these are little creamy eyeshadows, super simple to use. You just literally use your finger. You could use a brush. I use my finger, and they're beautiful and very difficult to mess up. I have hooded lids. I don't have any motivation or time or effort or whatever desire to spend time in the morning on my makeup, but sometimes I do want something on my eyes that's not just mascara, and these are awesome. I use both. I use the glittery one kind of toward the top, and then this one that's a little bit darker toward the bottom. This darker one is slightly harder to open, but it's not too hard. This one, the slightly darker color, It's BR406 Burnt Toast. It does tend to crease a little bit, but it's not a huge deal. First of all, I don't use eye primer because, again, I'm just lazy. I want something super, super quick in the morning. But because it's a creamy formula, even when it creases, it just takes a little swipe of a clean finger and it's back to looking good. So not a big deal at all. Love, love, love these. Would love more colors. Unfortunately, all the colors for this, as is actually common for Korean eyeshadows right now, are in the warm hues. I would have loved a cool tone, like maybe some grays or silvers, but most of these are golds and browns and oranges and that kind of thing. But still, take a look at them, and they're not expensive at all, if I remember right. So definitely check them out if you want like a little cream eyeshadow solution, and they're sold individually. The next makeup fave is this Peri Para Ink Velvet in the color Rose Nude. I'm actually wearing it right now. It goes on as a creamy product, has a doe foot applicator, but then I dab off that cream layer because it never quite sets for me, the cream, and probably maybe it's not meant to. This is what the applicator looks like. After I dab off that top layer, what's left behind is a really pretty tint. It's a little bit a cooler hue. And what I really, really like about this is because I don't carry this in my purse, if I put it on in the morning and then I leave, it fades very evenly throughout the day. So if I'm eating or drinking or just living my life, it does not end up splotchy. It does not highlight dryness on the lips too much, but it also isn't necessarily moisturizing. So if your lips are really dry, I'd recommend doing a lip balm in the beginning of your morning routine and then doing your skincare. Then by the time you're done with your skincare, the lip balm should be absorbed enough that you can do a lip product, and it should go on smoother and softer. But I'm really enjoying this, and by the time I get home from work, it usually looks like a more faded version of what I have on right now, but it's not splotchy or anything. You don't have to reapply it if you don't want to. This guy is kind of a fail. I wonder if I'm just not the right audience for this. It's Neogen All Day Locking Fixer. It's a makeup spray. First of all, from consuming a lot of skincare content and makeup content on YouTube, it sounds like the best way to use a fixing spray is actually before you apply makeup, because the makeup is usually ruined not from the external forces, but from the oil coming through the skin. I don't apply it like this. I've tried it only a handful of times, to be completely honest. I'm not a very frequent makeup wearer, mostly just for videos. My daily makeup consists of powder and mascara. And today I did a get ready with me video of how I put all of this on. If you do want to check that out, that should be up first before this one. Or, well, this one might be first. I don't know yet how I'm going to upload it, but it will be on the channel eventually. This is just not a fine enough mist to me. It's not comfortable to use. It doesn't really do much to prolong my makeup, because my makeup, even on its fanciest day like today, is very basic. I do have eyeshadow, I have concealer, I have BB cream on, some powder, a little bit of blush, and then eyeliner and fake lashes and brow stuff. By itself, without a makeup fixing spray, it would last me the whole day just fine. If you are more into elaborate cut creases and all that beautiful stuff that I don't know how to do, you probably need a makeup spray, or you probably use one, but this one just doesn't come out in a fine enough mist. I feel like it sprays the way that some of the spray toners spray. It's just big droplets is what it feels like. So that for that reason, I don't love it. If it were a really fine mist that I maybe couldn't feel just landing on my skin, I would probably be tempted to use it more, but the way that this is right now, I don't love it. I have a fail and a fave from the same brand. Let's start with a fave. This is the RiRe? Tell me how to pronounce it if you know. All Kill Blackhead Remover Stick, the red. My relationship with RiRe as a brand is interesting. A lot of their products are gimmicky and don't work for me. Their sunstick is absolutely horrible. It is so hard, just impossible to spread on the skin. It's like rubbing a plastic brick on your face and hoping something comes off. I did not have high expectations for this product at all. This is a stick that you rub on your face to get rid of blackheads. I really did not expect this to do much. The way I use it is I do my oil cleansing step, and then a foam cleansing step, and then on moist skin, I know people love that word, I take the stick and I rub it, not too hard, around my T-zone, mostly focusing on the nose and this area of the cheek right here, because that's where I get blackheads, and then on the chin. And again, I just expected it to be skintertainment. It has little granules in there of something exfoliating. It does foam a little bit. it actually surprised me big time. First of all, it doesn't irritate my skin and doesn't dry it out, but it does seem to take off maybe just the top layer of congestion in the pores. Obviously, it's not going to suck anything out. It's not a vacuum, but it does smooth and soften and take off that little black oxidation. Basically, it's usually not dirt, it's usually oxidation on the sebaceous filaments. It does make things look better. Is it a long-term solution that's going to make a huge difference for your skin? Not so much. It's more like a quick fix, more like a clay mask, maybe just a little bit more robust, a little bit more intense than a clay mask. But is it a cool product to use when you have a special occasion and you want your skin to look as good as possible? Yes. For a long-term solution to sebaceous filaments, first of all, it's a normal function of the skin to have the little dots and little pores. That's completely normal. You can't really get rid of it. No matter how much you squeeze, they will just refill. But leave-on exfoliator with BHA preferably is usually what's recommended for kind of management of the sebum production. But if you already have an issue, this is a good thing to kind of quickly make it look better temporarily. But it pleasantly surprised me, to be honest. Now this one is more of the kind of experience I expect from RiRe. It's a gimmicky bubble lip mask. Was I excited to get it? Yes, because it's fun. It's a little squeezy bottle and it comes out like cream. You put it on your lips, let it sit for a bit, it bubbles, and then you wipe off or rinse off the bubbles. And it's supposed to moisturize and soften and smooth your lips. It does not moisturize the lips, nor would I really expect it to. It's not a leave-on product. I would expect moisturizing from a lip balm or a sleeping mask or lip oil or an essence or something like that, not from an exfoliator. But it also doesn't do a great job exfoliating, to be honest. If I were to exfoliate my lips, which is not very often at all, I would reach for a physical scrub, and maybe not even a dedicated lip scrub, maybe just a face scrub. There are some good sugar-based ones that I like I'm from Fig sugar mask is really good, that can be used on the lips as well, or the Claire's black sugar scrub, or Wamisa makes a lip scrub, which is pretty much the only Wamisa product I actually like. So this is fun. It's not super necessary in my opinion, but it's also around $3. It's not that expensive, and it is a cute little thing. If you are putting together a package for like a friend, or need some stocking stuffers, or just want some skin entertainment, it does that, but it's not super functional and I would not get it again. This is a fave. This is Petit Fille Pink Vita Brightening Eye Mask. What did I expect from this? I thought it would be a hydrogel eye mask because that's how most of the eye masks are, and unpopular opinion, to me they're all pretty much the same. The colors vary, the fragrance varies, sometimes the shape and size vary, but most of them are just hydrating, cooling, depuffing, really nice if stored in the fridge sort of products. Most of them are the same. Very rarely does something stand out. I'm sorry, I have to keep stopping, and there'll probably be quite a few cuts in this section because my toddler upstairs is acting out his inner elephant dreams. I don't know how a child who is 40 pounds can make that much noise. He's not alone up there, don't worry, he's supervised, but it really sounds like he's dropping like a kettlebell on the floor repeatedly on purpose, and you can probably hear it on the video. Okay. Back to filming. These are not hydrogel, they're cloth or some sort of fabric similar to a sheet mask. I'm not going to tilt this too far because there is liquid in there and I don't want this to spill. This is what they look like. Really soft. I would say that these are not as luxurious and nice feeling as, let's say, a hydrogel mask would be. However, the reason this is a complete fave for me is these stay put immediately. With hydrogel, usually it slides around a fair bit. It's kind of slippery, not in a bad way, but you put it on and then you have to wait for it to warm up to the temperature of your skin and to really kind of start sticking well. And then after that happens, you can move around. With these, they stick immediately. So the way that I like to use them is I get out of my bath every night after spending way too long there watching YouTube videos and doing my cleansing steps. I get out, I put on some toner. Usually I go for something thicker, like a little more thick than a watery toner. And then I put these on, and then I do my body skincare while these are on. Then I take these off and maybe do a little bit more toner. And the reason I do a thicker one to start with is because it doesn't take as little time for it to evaporate as like a watery one. I take these off, I might do a little bit more toner or maybe an essence or something, and then do the rest of my skincare routine. But because these stick right away, I can put them on and then do my body skincare and bend down to put stuff on my legs, etc., without these shifting. And I don't have to sit there and wait for a hydrogel one to adhere well before I can move. That's really their biggest bonus. Are these strictly necessary? No. And I will be doing a de-influencing style video of the products you don't need, so look forward to that. That should come out within the next few weeks. Do you need these? No, but they're really nice and really good and hydrating. If you want specifically depuffing, if the morning routine is when you use your hydrogel eye patches, I would stick with hydrogel because I think that would be more depuffing, especially if you store them in the fridge. But if you want extra hydration, targeted hydration, I would go with these. Last but not least, another fail from KAHI. I don't know. Is there something this brand makes that I will like? Have I tried a lot? No. I've only tried 2 products. I tried their very well marketed KAHI balm, which I did not like. Talked about this a lot on the channel and in my blog articles. But now I have this KAHI Wrinkle Bounce Collagen Mist Ampoule, and it's a spray. The one thing they got right with this spray is it's a very fine mist. Neogen makeup setting spray could take some notes. Honestly, if the Neogen makeup setting spray would mist like this, that would be ideal. That's the only thing I like about this product, and I didn't give it a fair chance, I'll be honest. I don't have that much of it gone. The reason I haven't used it more is because I cannot stand the smell. I just can't stand the smell. It is, first of all, not my go-to to use face mists in general. I prefer toners that I can pour and whatever. I don't reapply mists throughout the day because that disturbs SPF. Plus, if you don't seal it in with something occlusive, you're just going to get more transepidermal water loss anyway as the mist evaporates. So to me, mists throughout the day are kind of pointless. And then at the toner or essence step, I am actually more apt to use a pour, just a regular bottle of something versus the mist, because mists, no matter how fine, when I squeeze them and spray them, I tend to close my eyes and kind of as a reflex, and I don't like that. That was a really long, unique to me explanation. But the smell of this is so strong that I don't want to spray it on my face. It is not a cheap product. I did get it as PR, but still I'm mindful of the pricing when I talk about products and review them. And this is absolutely not worth the money, but also because it's a pricier, fancier product, I feel weird just using it up on my body, which is what I would normally do with a mist that I don't enjoy very much. What I'm going to do instead is give it to my friend who enjoys fragrance products, and in fact, she likes the scented things, and when they're strongly scented, she enjoys it way more than I do. I know she will like it. She likes mists, she uses them all the time, and she likes fragrance, and so for her, I think she would actually use it enough to be able to tell if it makes a difference for her skin or not. For me, this was just a no-go. I cannot get past the fragrance. That's it for this month's fails and faves. Like I said, if you tried any of them and have your own experience to share, let me know, or if you have your own fails and faves to share with me in the comments, I would love to hear what you're liking or not liking. You can find me on my blog, KBeautyHobbit.com, my Instagram at KBeautyHobbit, and my private Facebook group, Korean Beauty Fanatics. I hope to see you in my next video. Until then, please remember to always listen to your skin. Thank you so much.